A very special one, just as it's a little unusual to introduce a rabbi. It's also a little unusual in world comedy to introduce a 13-year-old, but who's not about to be bar mitzvahed. I mean, if it was in a temple, it would be.
It's already happened.
I know, but let's do it again. Like, people get married again. We're doing another bar mitzvah this time. And I could be a little good press. But anyway, I very rarely look at videos online of other comedians because it's either boring or out of bitterness. And and I spent like an afternoon going through tons of videos of our next performer who is hilarious, and I've had the privilege of working with him a little bit. And he's performed all over the area, and he's going off to camp, really. So that's his thing. But that won't put a damper on it. He's got representation in camp, and it'll be a whole thing. So it's great to have him making his debut in a place where Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock and people like that started. So his debut here at the comic strip, Simon Cadel.
So, I'm Simon Cadel, and I'm a kid, so I don't usually get to go to that many comedy shows because they're mature content, but I found a way in. Brilliant. So, in case you haven't noticed, I'm very short. It's okay though, girls pick me up all the time. Literally. But I've been trying to get taller, so I've been eating healthier. I've been drinking a lot of orange juice. But buying orange juice is really hard because there are so many different varieties. Lots of pulp, no pulp, some pulp, some pulp. I wish I was kidding about this one. It's an orange juice for indecisive people. Well, I don't hate pulp. I also tried something else. I used to have a friend who talked to plants, to help them grow. So I started doing this. I started talking to myself. Not only have I not grown, I now have no friends. Including the guy who talks to plants. I mean, how can you get to be for this guy not to be friends with him? But there are lots of great short people in history, like Napoleon. But I think my favorite short person in history was James Madison, the shortest president in U.S. history. Something tells me he took a lot of things very personally. Mr. President, we have a small problem. Small problem? What are you trying to say about me? Easy. You just have too many Republicans on your cabinet. I think you need to think about this a little longer. Please stop it! A little longer. What is this? Easy. You're being a little bit short-tempered. That's it. Have this man arrested. But I think the weirdest founding father is John Hancock. We all know who John Hancock is. He's the founding father who made the giant signature on the Declaration of Independence. I mean, we look at him as this great guy now, but I bet all his founding fathers were like, that jerk. Look at all the space you took up. We could have abolished slavery in this space, but no, a giant signature. If not, your name's going to become a synonym for signature anytime soon. But John Hancock, his checkbook must have been huge. It would be like those novelty checks on Wheel of Fortune. You win! My rent money! I'm trying to imagine him in high school. He'd be the last person you want to sign your yearbook. Jebediah, can I sign your yearbook? How about no? And I'm not just short. I eat really unhealthy. Like, here's an example. I went to a state fair once, and for those who don't know, that's basically a carnival on steroids. And I think the motto of all state fairs should be, fried food goes in, fried food comes out. Because they will fry anything, and I'll eat it. They have fried chicken, fried dough. I had a fried Oreo. As if the Oreo cookie wasn't fattening enough. Right after I ate this, I went to a pig race only to discover that they coax the pigs to run with Oreo cookies. Plain Oreo cookies. When I ate this Oreo, I was like, you know what? I eat like a pig. Apparently not. I am worse. least these pigs are getting exercise. So, when I went to the pig race, they had an announcer there who asked us all this question: how many of you have never been to a pig race before? And half the people raised their hand. Half. That means, according to my calculations, half the people in this pig race have not only gone to a pig race before, they came back. Get a life, people. But I'm really a hypocrite talking about people who don't have lives, because I don't have one. I've recently taken to going on the internet and looking up nursery rhymes. And there's some pretty morbid stuff in there. Like Ring Around Rosie, Pocket Full of Posy. Posy, if you didn't know, was a cure for the Black Plague that failed miserably. Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Posy, Ashes, ashes, we all die slowly and painfully. That scared the children, apparently. Didn't make it to the final cut. But I think the weirdest one is Mary Had a Little Lamb. One of the lines to this is, the lamb followed her to school one day, which was against the rule. Rule. Singular! This school only has one rule, and that's the rule: no lamb. What's the average day like there? Cow good, pig good, boat constructor good, lamb? Unacceptable! So now I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to sing a song. This song is on my YouTube channel, which doesn't have much content yet, but I recommend subscribing anyway. It's Simon Cadel, Simoncadel, one word. And so this is a song about Xbox Live. It's squiggles. I did not know this. So if you're a nerd, you'll find it really funny. If not, kind of tune out a little bit. But, so, the whole comic effect of the small guitar is kind of lost on me. So here's my song. It's called Why Is an Xbox Live Free? Please subscribe to my channel. Shameless plug. Okay. Remember when Gotham City Imposters came out? It was a year that I got my Xbox. So I bought a purchase code from GameStop. Never have I ever been so wrong. Turns out you need a gold membership, and I'm not a fan of monthly fees. It's why I don't play World of Warcraft and many MMORPGs. Microsoft, why is Xbox Live free? It's free on the PlayStation and Wii. And obviously the PC. So why isn't Xbox Live free? Well, Gates, you've never been to my house, but my internet is really spotty. It's hard to play with my friends, and that makes me unhappy. Microsoft, what haven't you considered? People whose internet is turd. I'm reformatting my router, but it never seems to work. And I guess you think you've won with your Xbox One. But all I can see is you selling PlayStation and Wii U's. Always online is stupid, and gamers want backwards compatibility. I hope that this is fixed before the next Call of Duty. We all know it's going to be next year. That's why can't you see? You're ruining the gaming industry. I'm ranting about it on my ukulele. So why isn't Xbox Live free? Microsoft, why is Xbox Live free? I shouldn't have to pay to be cursed at my kids who are 3. It's not a necessity. So Microsoft, why isn't Xbox Live free? And your customer service sucks too. Thank you.